Hi, welcome to the Retirement Railroad Matinee Modeling Tip of the Day. I'm Steve, and today I want to revisit some trees. We make fake trees, and out of a variety of things. Buying pre-made armatures from like Woodland Scenics and other companies, buying the whole tree from various vendors, which are typically hobbyists. There's all different methodologies. You can make wire armatures. I've seen bristles off of paintbrushes intertwined on wire. And anyway, there's all different kinds. Most of my trees are either the Woodland Scenic armatures with like a lichen base covered with flocking and ground foam. That's what most of mine are. I also use, there's a bush here in Florida. Don't ask me the name. I have no idea. I've covered how to make trees utilizing these. Just going around and harvesting from the dead bushes around the neighborhood. But today I want to look at something else. The super trees is probably the most common referred to as best. Whether it's the best or not, I don't know. But everybody loves super trees. All right, you get a cubic foot box basically for what, $50, give or take, and it'll make a ton of trees. Okay? Well, I was walking along, walking Penny, my dog, and the other day, and I looked down. I saw these weeds growing, and within the grass, and a real stiff type of weed. And I looked at them before, but at a different time of the year, and they were too twisted. They just didn't look right. And when I tried to do something with them, it didn't work out. But I look at them again, being a different time of year. They haven't leafed out. They've got like tiny seed pods on them. And this is what I'm talking about right here. Okay. And you can see it's just starting to leaf. You'll catch a couple of glimpses of a few little green areas in there. Now these have been baked already at 200 degrees for 1 hour. That kills any microorganisms and bugs, etc. So these are what I'm going to make trees from today. Okay? And if you look at the base of this tree, it's not really a good stump the way it's twisted around and so forth. So what I'm going to do out of this one little clump, I'm going to make 3 trees. Okay? I'm going to snap this off. Alright, and I have this tree. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll spray it down with glue, and then use some ground foam and some flocking to come up with a tree. Alright, and then I'll snap off the next one. Okay. And they're intertwined, so you lose some of the effect. But I've got this one. And that leaves me with the gnarly bottom that I'm going to break off right about here. Okay. Leaving me with this one. Now, even super trees, the bases and so forth, they're tilted and slanted, and people say you got to wet them down and hang them so that they straighten out some. I think you can trim these up enough where they are straight enough to use as trees. Okay? So the rest of the process is the same. Just spray her down with some glue, and I use Gorilla Glue, Gorilla Spray adhesive. seems to work good for me. I know there's all different kinds. You know, people say hairspray, etc. I may use hairspray after I've done it just to help fix it. I've done that in the past, but for the initial adhesive, I like the Gorilla Spray adhesive. Just to give you an idea, it took me about 10 minutes to harvest all those. Okay? And that'll yield probably 30 trees or more. So let me get after it, and we'll see what we come up with. So stay tuned. Okay, so we're back, and as you can see, I've used about half of the weeds that I harvested. They're on the left side of that styrofoam, hard to see because I have not added any ground foam or flocking to them yet. On the right side are the 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 twigs that I had harvested previously that I've added batting, or it's like a cotton ball type of material to, and I've painted both sets green, at least the tops. The bases or the trunks of the trees are still their natural color for the most part, and I'll touch those up as the final step. The next step will be, after the paint is dried, to go ahead and spray them down with the Gorilla Glue spray adhesive, and then flock and foam, ground foam clumps on them and flock it. Okay? As you can see, I went through maybe a third of the weeds that I harvested, so there's plenty more available to do later. But right now, this is all the trees I need for the layout at this stage, but I will need more in the future. So anyway, let's proceed to the next step. Stay tuned. All right, so yesterday we made all those trees, and I spent the afternoon planting, so to speak. So let's see how it turned out. Now, all these trees were used in and around the Aurora roundhouse and station area. So let's take a look. You know, basic close-up views of what's behind me here, and you can see here some of the results. This is a close-up of the actual foliage on the tree. Yeah, there's a piece of lichen down towards the lower left that I'll pick off of there. I didn't notice it when I was taking the picture. And the whole idea of this scene was a transition and away from the round into and out of the turntable roundhouse area, and kind of increases the distance. So a train from the farmhouse scene into the roundhouse scene along the backside isn't so abrupt. Okay, it's a nice transition. You don't see the train. The train disappears out of one location before showing up in the second location, and it also hides the truncation of the roundhouse itself down when you're low, on lower views. So that's the effect I was trying to achieve, and you can see the two different types of trees here. The trees to the far right are the weed trees, and then the trees over towards the left are the twig trees with the batting used. Now there's a couple of weed trees in between there as well. Here's a couple more. Closer up shot. And another showing how it kind of blocks the view and adds some suspense, so to speak. You can see through the trees and get a glimpse of what's behind there before it opens up to the full view. So anyway, that's what I was trying to the effect I was trying to achieve, and I'm satisfied with it. You can also see some of the twig trees right here that I've added around the Aurora station platform. Okay, just to add a little greenery to that area and help transition and blend to the trees behind the roundhouse. So anyway, that's my take on faking fake trees. Faking super trees with the weeds I find down here in the Tampa Bay area. And I've got a whole lot more available and a limitless supply. So anyway, I want to thank you for joining me here at the Retirement Railroad Matinee Modeling Tip of the Day. I'm Steve, and y'all have a great day. Bye now.